Tonight on First Tuesday...
For years, as long as I can remember, I've just been a number.
Len Harding, 34 years inside, now on the outside, a happy man at last. And the miners of Kent look back on the strike.
Haven't we got the right anymore to fight for a job? Are they taking that right away from us?
Good evening and welcome to the March edition of First Tuesday. Television is often accused of picking up stories and people, putting them on the screen for a night and then forgetting about them, treating them in fact like TV fodder. In their different ways, our two films tonight counter that criticism. The first is about a remarkable individual who first appeared on ITV 7 years ago in what became a famous documentary called Rampton, the Secret Hospital. That film was an investigation into the treatment of patients at Rampton, a maximum security unit in Nottinghamshire. The film led to a major police investigation, a trial and convictions. One of those who appeared in the film was Len Harding, who had been held in Rampton for 18 years. His case aroused a huge public response. In Len Harding, Born a Number, we discover what's happened to him since then.
It's free, it's the beginning.
A Nottingham cinema. Len Harding is watching himself in a film that we made about him in 1979. After half a lifetime in institutions, the film followed his first tentative footsteps into the outside world. Now, 7 years later, he's just written his autobiography. It's the story of a remarkable life.
Things like this. I've seen inside occasionally, but I've never actually been in one to say, this is me, this is part of me, I belong.
The illegitimate son of a cleaner and a Canadian Air Force pilot, before the age of 1, he was abandoned into the care of a children's home. He spent 34 of his first 35 years in institutions, more than half of them, 18 years, at Rampton Top Security Hospital. His crime, manslaughter due to diminished responsibility. Recently, Rampton faced the biggest inquiry into mental hospital brutality since the birth of the NHS. We first met Len not long after his release from Rampton, at the Eastdale Rehabilitation Unit near Newark. At this unique halfway house, patients from Rampton and other top security hospitals are gradually helped back into the outside world. After years isolated from society, patients need to learn the basic skills of everyday living. And that's not easy for someone so deeply institutionalised as Len.
Afternoon, gents, how are we? Hey? Aren't you speaking today? No? All right. For years, as long as I can remember, I've just been a number. I've not made any decisions from day to day, not even as to go into the toilet when I can. Meals, set times, everything. Everything has been so rigid. And because I've been locked away so long, the only way I could survive and not turn into an institutionalised cabbage was to get myself a loft and put myself on a perch. And I'd become so used to me tie corrected, good morning, madam, good morning, sir, no, sir, afternoon, madam, and such like, and even allowing myself no relaxation of being a person. I was so correct to a point I might have been a dumb as in Burton's windows, if you like.
My guest between now and 4 is Len Harding, whose book Born a Number is published today. You were released for sort of a halfway house where you did manage to find how to live again in society. Was that difficult?
Thought of ever going back into society, knowing that I had problems, there was no way I could. I called it Born a Number because at the time I started writing it, when I first came out of Eastdale, all I could think of when I looked at through the back doing the fine was a number. I was Harding number this, Harding number that, and so on. But by writing it proves that I am not mentally retarded. I am not a born institutionalised person, as I was told I was by authority and institutions, and I'm not something less than an animal.
We wish you all the very best, and a reminder to the people listening, your book Born a Number is published today. It's published by Mind Publications at £2.95. Len Harding, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you, dear.
Holiday 86 at Alexandra Palace.
Holiday 86, London.
Therefore, I am convinced
Publication day for Len's book. But it's not just his autobiography. It's also a plea for better treatment of the mentally ill at Rampton and other special hospitals.
There's no reason why they should be treated less than animals, which they are mainly in the special hospital system. I have been informed this morning that my book has been banned from Rampton already. Thank you. Considering I had a very poor education, and very few people had any interest or faith in me, and the fact that I've been able to write the book, sit my sitting guilds in cleaning, science and management, become a qualified referee, and now an author, and actually try and persuade people in authority to do away with a system that is totally rotten to the core, I think I've had a little success for everyone's interest.
But 7 years ago, before he could be released, Len had to satisfy the experts that he was no longer a risk to society.
Is this man dangerous? Now, you know, with our usual thing, we're not going to define it, it's what you feel. Julie, let's start from the right.
In terms of the likelihood of a similar sort of crime, I think that's unlikely. I think my feeling is, if anything, he's more likely to kill himself. And I think that's the risk that we're living with.
I think I will agree with that, actually.
You would. Mr. Sharp?
I would also, yes. I just think that without social supervision he's vulnerable. But I don't think he's dangerous.
We do not think this man is dangerous. 3 of us felt that under stress and loneliness, he was vulnerable and maybe a danger to himself. Is that the way I picked it up? OK, thank you.
Their verdict, Len is free to go, provided he can find a job. Not easy for an ex-Rampton patient. After a string of rejections, there's a chance of a job as a hospital porter.
Look at that, Peter.
Yeah, you're looking very confident. What is that? Confidence or intuition this time?
I don't know, a bit of both, I hope so.
A bit of both, eh? Yeah, yeah. Making me stumble a bit, isn't it? Eh?
We all enjoy Peter.
I don't think you have to tell me. You've got it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's great, isn't it, eh? Yeah, and the other thing, of course, is that you're no longer a number now, but...
I've now become a mister.
That's right, yes.
The final hurdle, finding somewhere to live.
Right, this is the room. As you can see, it's just a small bed sitting room. You've got your own table.
This would be ideal.
Shall I show you the other rooms?
Certainly, thank you.
And this is the sitting room which you will share with the two other gentlemen.
This is beautiful. What is it? I think it's ideal.
Oh, good.
It's got to work. It's free, you know. It's the beginning. This is what life is, isn't it, really? It's... great.
Today, Len has the keys to his very own semi-detached house. An accident at work means he's had to give up his job as a deputy head porter, but he's happily married to Jean, who suffers from diabetes.
Biggest problem shown up in that film, through my background, was the fact that that yearning to belong and the loneliness it brought, of course, create internal conflict in a lot of ways. And since I had met Jean, got married and had normal day-to-day existence, the lonely periods, the feeling of wanting have just gone. How you feeling? You all right there?
Mm-hmm.
You had your needle and that?
Yeah.
And your tablets?
Yes.
Okay then, lovey. Well, do you like a cup of tea?
Yes, please.
I think my biggest achievement is actually settling into society and just being an ordinary member of society. I've had my downfalls, I've had my ups and downs, but I think everybody has that part of living, you know, one has to go through these sort of things. I think I've written a book and I've done some television work because of the group I work for. But I think my biggest success is just I have actually settled in society just as any other member.
So, success for you is just to be ordinary?
Success is just to be ordinary with a beautiful wife and a home and a loving atmosphere, yes.
Surely if you pass...
With marriage to Jean has come a new circle of friends.
Still got that laugh, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
No, you drink it without the whiskey, Jim.
No, I didn't.
Did you tell? Oh, Jim. You dark horse.
Yeah. You never told me that.
I can see an alteration on him, all the Simpsons, and married me Gilly. No sense in it.
But Len still keeps links with the Eastdale staff.
There is no way I would have survived without Eastdale. But by and large, Eastdale does a brilliant job, both in the interest of the patient coming out into society and society itself. I still look upon this really as the time, you know, where the problems of the yesteryear, you know, were sorted out and I actually...
Started moving forward.
Move forward, yes.
It was a difficult time out there at first, wasn't it?
Not that.
It was here at Eastdale that an unexpected turning point on Len's pathway to freedom took place. Just a few hours before he was due to leave for good, a fellow patient ran for the railway line in a suicide bid. Len and the police followed. At the very last second, Len had saved the other man's life.
You're all right. Yeah, you're all right.
Stand up, miss. Stand up. You're all right. Go ahead. Just walk across to my car. Calm down. Yeah, walk close to me, boy. Got too much?
When I got there, I didn't know what to do. He slashed his neck. I tempted him with a cigarette. That's the only thing I could tempt him with. And then the train came and he went to go under the train. I didn't know what to do. I felt so inadequate, I didn't know what to do. I so much want to go, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm so fat. I'm so inadequate.
But Len's common sense and bravery in saving another man's life had confirmed to himself and everyone else at Eastdale that he was not inadequate and that he was ready to leave institutional life for good. Whatever his fears, there was no turning back for Len, now that he had his first flat, his first job to go to.
Hey, take care, Len.
Come on, Len.
Look after yourself, Len.
All the best.
See you later, Len.
Yeah, all the best.
Stupid, isn't it?
Not stupid. It's your first home for 35 years.
Small. Phil. So I have to get used to the smallness. Anyway, I've got a lot to do, John.
All right, then.
Be going.
Well, bye-bye.
God
See you
bless
soon.
you.
Best of luck.
Thanks ever so much.
You'll make it.
Yeah.
I'll see you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Yeah.
Cheers, Len.
Cheers.
Good luck, mate.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra.
After we'd all left you there, what was it like over that weekend, your first weekend of freedom?
In one word, a nightmare. Although the landlady had shown me how to use the gas meter, the electric meter, I'd forgotten. I didn't have any heat or electricity that weekend because I was too, I suppose, too proud to go and ask the lady to show me how to do it again. And I bought an alarm clock. And then when I'd got it, I didn't realise how to use it. It was a nightmare. I escaped during the day, but the night before, Sunday night before I had to go to work on the Monday morning, I stayed awake most of the night, so I wasn't late for my first day's work. I can laugh about it now, but at the time it was a real... I felt so embarrassed watching it. I don't think I'm nowhere near like the Len Harding on that film. You just take my career. I started off as porter, pharmacy porter, deputy head, city and guilds, and then you take my social life. I've got married, then my social work with Pro-Par and things like this. Oh no, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done half of that 70 years ago. This has all been building up, you know, gradually taking my normal place in society. After the film, the main question everyone asked me was, what do you enjoy most in life now you are back in society? My answer was always the same, and I hope I will always feel this way. Just to be able to walk down any road and see people from all walks of life enjoying themselves in their own way gives me so much happiness and contentment. It seems to me that when you have had freedom all your life, instead of using it well, you tend to abuse it by taking it for granted. I'm lucky. I get so much from my walks every day.
Len Harding, no longer a number. In a moment, on the first anniversary of the collapse of the miners' strike, we explore the lasting effects on one community of those traumatic days.